Morning guys, and today we're going to be working on Marco's white STI in the background here. Like I've told you guys before, if you've seen it in the other videos, this thing has come all the way from over on the other side of the country, and we are going to be diagnosing what's going on. So this thing originally was built by IAG, and he said it just stopped running one day while he was driving it. So I have tried to start it. It did not sound very good. The noises that I heard, it's either going to be something pretty bad failure wise in the heads, or the unwanted short block failure. So we're going to be diving into this thing today. The first step that we're going to start with is we are going to check timing on it, because it does seem like it is off time. So why that happened, I'm not too sure. Maybe a tensioner failed, or it skipped time due to a loose belt or a stretch belt. It doesn't have very many miles, so not exactly too sure. Before we dive into this today, we got the beautiful wife over here, and you want to show all YouTube your new birthday present?
You want to do a cold start for the boys?
We got to do a cold start for the boys. So went ahead, and since this year and last year I told you guys we were focusing on getting the wife more into racing, it's time that gray is going to be her race car, and we're going to be working on that soon. You guys are going to see that. It's going to be turning it more into a race car, so that means we had to get her a daily driver. So you guys know we have the Hawkeye over there. That is actually going to be going for sale. We're just going to have different plans in the future. So I really wanted to build it, but in the end it is 100% stock STI 06. If anyone's interested, please go ahead and email me down below. But you ready to show them your car or what? What'd you get?
I got an Audi.
Ooh, you didn't even want an Audi at first.
No, we were looking at BMWs.
And look at this interior, guys. This is a fully optioned 2018 S4 Prestige, and we gotta do a cold start for the boys.
Ready?
Yep, hit it. Oh, sounds good. What do you think of it? So like I said, this is definitely not something she was looking for. She was actually sending me older BMWs, like 2010 and 13 BMWs, and I decided for her birthday it was time to get her a nice car, and this is probably the nicest car we have now. Only has 11,000 miles, guys, and look at that cluster. Yeah, she's pretty fancy over here. Jeez, it's a carbon package inside. This thing's focusing away here. And then back. I'm sure a lot of you know what obviously an Audi S4 is. This thing, like I said, is a 2018, and we do plan on doing some stuff to it. I think the first thing is going to be window tint, because she can't do the fishbowl, can you? Just see through windows. What is this life?
Terrible.
So first thing first, it's going to get tinted, and from there it's going to get front lip, the RS4 grille, because we can't do the chrome grille. Just no. We did want the Nardo gray color one. She really did, but with our time frame of looking around and her birthday coming up, we found this one, and it was a deal that we couldn't pass up for the miles on it. Still smells brand new inside, and being fully optioned out, I think she wanted it anyways.
I haven't even noticed the red brakes.
Yeah, it has pretty large brakes.
Those are ugly.
Oh, they're ugly?
The red is ugly.
Well then, no, well, take it back. Guess you don't want it.
There's
So
nothing else red on the car. Why red?
that is showing some other stuff you'll see on the channel. Like I said, we always like everything, and that is something different for you guys to watch, because obviously we all know it's going to get tuned.
Stop it.
Whatever, there's 100 wheel torque difference just from a stage 1 tune, and like 50 to 60 horsepower. So obviously we're going to tune the thing. But today we're going to be working on this STI. I've been needing to diagnose it, and yeah, as you guys know, I hate undershields, and this has one of those fancy underplates on it, so it's gonna be fun. Let's get this thing up in the air and see what's going on today. Get the radiator out, drain the coolant system obviously, and pull this timing apart, and we can see exactly what is going on with this thing. I already told them that if it is something like that where jump timing, obviously we're gonna need to get the heads rebuilt, and that means new valves most likely, and then see how bad it had hit the piston. So let's go ahead, jump right into it, get this thing apart.
I say, yeah. I say,
there's a bunch of freaking spider webs under here. Marco, if I die, it's on you. As you guys can see here, we've been making quick progress of this. We have the radiator out of our way. I have the belt off the alternator. Just getting ready to pull the belt off of the AC here, and we already hit our first problem because this is not good. And yeah, it's not moving. And we're in neutral, so not looking good, Marco. I'm gonna go ahead and see what I can do about getting this off. I might have to end up cutting this belt off, which I really don't like to do, but in the effort of seeing what's going on here, I might have to just cut that belt for now if I can't turn this to pull it off. Obviously I could take this apart and loosen this and it would come off, but we might just end up cutting this. I'm going to go ahead and loosen the crank pulley bolt, or at least try to go the other way and see what happens, and we'll see if it moved. It did move a little bit at first, but now, I mean, it's hitting something, so that's not good. All right, let's see what happens. So first initial looking here at this, I'm not seeing anything that stands out by how it turned the engine over at all. Taking a look at our tensioner here, I don't know how well this is going to focus on it, but I definitely do see some fluid on there. But it does look like an OEM style tensioner. It is an OEM tensioner, guys. So that's not going to be why it failed, but the tensioner could have failed. So let's turn this thing over with you guys on here, and I turned it backwards, so that's why it's going right now. So it's turning. I don't know how far I'm going to get here, and that stops. And then we get hard. Let's see, I don't really want to push too hard here. Yeah, it doesn't go. So we are definitely going to be having problems here. Now, looking at the cams, they look like they're at the same orientation as each other, so they're not off time that bad. But let's do what I don't usually do and don't recommend, and that's go backwards, because that's the only way I can go right now to get this thing to turn over. So let's go backwards to get this thing to line up, which I just passed it. So at least we're not completely off here. So we're trying to line up that center mark there, and obviously your boys struggle busting with trying to hold the camera. Oh yeah, as we jump time. So let's go a little bit, bam. So we can see here, obviously we have our top mark, and I'm probably gonna have to put my finger there for this thing to focus, so if I don't drop my tool. So you guys can see our top mark obviously lined up, right? Then we come down to our bottom mark. Let the thing focus, come on, dang thing. Obviously it's gonna be a pain. You can tell we're off by, I'd say 2 teeth, which shouldn't make it do this. But obviously if you're in power and it happens like this side, let's see if I can get this camera down in here. With it focusing, I don't know, guys. Ah, son of a... Well, there goes the tool. Dang it. So, this mark is lined up, and I know you guys aren't going to be able to see this. I'll try my best for you. But, you can see here, we're not far off, guys. I mean, we're pretty much lined up on that side. So the plot thickens. Well, let's go ahead. What I'm going to do is take this apart here. I'm going to line up the cams, retime it, put it on time, and then try to turn it over and see what happens. If it turns over smooth, then I will go ahead and hook up power, and we will start this thing and see what it sounds like. I'm sure, obviously, with it hitting right now, that regardless, there's probably going to be bent valves. There is going to be bent valves. So that's good. That's a better sign than obviously a short block, depending on how hard we hit the piston. So let's go ahead, take this thing apart, get that tensioner back up and tight to where I can put the pin in it, and retime this thing. I'm just going to do it with the used belt that's on here. I think there's still marks on it, which is nice, but you don't need them. So I'm going to switch out the battery, get that retimed, and we'll see where we're at. So now that we have obviously our belt off, I can move our cams here as they're free floating, and all of them are free floating, so that's a good sign. But now let's turn over the crank. Obviously it should be able to turn over now, so we are going to turn this over all the way, and obviously we should be fine now as long as there's nothing inside of the cylinder. Oh man, that's not good, boys. There's something in the cylinder. Oh, that means probably catastrophic, guys. Like, pretty bad, because this thing won't even, it hits a brick wall. Well, that's the end of that. I'm gonna call Marco and see what he wants to do, because if it's hitting a brick wall like that, there's about a good, really good chance that the piston's pretty hurt. So, not the news he's going to want to hear. He's going to tell me to pull it out, obviously, and pull the head off and see, and maybe it's just a bent valve that's not bent. I don't know. I don't feel very comfortable about it now. I was hoping it was just going to be jump timing, which it was, but I do know that he told me he was at high RPM when this happened. If it hit that valve hard enough, it could break it off, and that means it would be pretty catastrophic failure. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get these pictures over to him. I'm going to let him know what's going on. Let him give me the okay for the next step, because there's about a 50-50 chance here. I mean, it's a pretty good chance it's probably going to need a short block too. So let's go ahead, reach him, and I will update you guys how today ends up going. Oh, I'm sure Bob's going to love this. Look, guys, we got Kellen's car. Now that it's nice out, he's back out, and she's for sale.
Check us out, PNW boys on Instagram, pnw.boyz. Check us out.
Look at that. The merch drop on my shit. No.
We'll check out Baderbilt shit too. We're gonna help them sell it.
Here's good old girl back, and unfortunately they have some more business plans, so that means this thing is gonna be getting sold. So, to one lucky one of you guys, could have the key to a 700 wheel 07 STI.
I don't want to get rid of it either. This thing is fast.
Was that you that just ripped on it?
Oh, was it ever, bud? 2-3, baby.
I just told the wife, I was like, sounds like a K-Series Honda.
I'm not gonna lie, I did do 170 plus on the way out here on the freeway, so beware, the cops are looking for this car.
So, how many years? This is like 2.5 years old now.
2.5, almost 3 years. It's got like 6,600 miles on it.
Ripping on her.
You know, first like whatever, 6 grand of it was on pump. It's only been on E for a couple hundred.
So I'm gonna be cleaning this thing up, guys, and show you guys for those that don't know, and I will take the video that we did in this thing right over here. But there she is. Like I said, it's going to be listed for sale here soon. If you are interested in a built STI, and especially being an 07, this will be the one for you, because honestly the price point of this car, where it's going to be at, is what you would pay for a stock STI.
Yeah.
So don't miss out. This guy's 700 wheel build. Usually that's right around 35 grand is when that starts, plus obviously the cost of the car. So being able to buy the car for what it originally cost with the build, you can't really go wrong.
No, you can't. So
Nope.
just come get it, because I got other stuff going on.
Before you change your mind.
I don't want to sell it, bro. On the way out, I was like, I'm just going to ask Josh how we can not sell the car.
So if you see why it doesn't go up for sale, you know why, because he just yelled at me to keep it. No.
It'll be back and forth now.
It'll be back and forth. So we're going to grab some lunch. I'm still waiting to hear back on Marco's car anyways. So we're going to catch up. As soon as I hear back, I'll update you guys on further on how the day is going to go. So checking in, we did check in with Marco, and Marco did give us approval to pull this engine out of the car so we can further see what's going on and get this thing torn out and see how bad that damage is. We do have some music on next door, so unfortunately haven't been able to record too much. But like I said, guys, this car was assembled by IAG. It has a 3-inch FP turbo inlet on it, and we can see how bad the fitment is if you look down here. So obviously it's not something that we're doing, as you guys have thought, but this thing is completely squished in here, and I'm sure collapsing. So further shows you guys, this was, like I said, directly assembled at IAG, so gives you a good idea. We're getting this thing torn apart. As you can tell, I've already started. Right now I'm going to get this intake manifold off, get the downpipe off, and then this thing's pretty much ready to get out of here. We got Travis in the background working away. Hopefully, I was hoping that he'd have his off the engine stand today so we could have an engine stand. But
I was really hoping to, but I'm trying.
Good news,
I got life problems.
the other one's taken up by VA bait, so hers is still on here. I did pull the oil pan off, and this will probably be something that no one ever shows. Yeah, the 1,000+ wheel, and I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but there is literally nothing in the oil. 100% clean. Doing an inspection on it, and we're going to be making some changes to keep on growing. We're going to be running another test head gasket on the car, so if we do have an issue with it failing again, just know that we're testing, guys. I'm trying to figure out something new that this should work, and we shouldn't have the problems that we're having. Obviously, you guys remember it wasn't sealing by this ring here. So we're going to do a whole new design and go through it and change it, and we're going to test it. So stay tuned for how well that works. In the meantime, we're gonna be getting this thing out, and he's gonna be working away. So like I was telling you guys, I'm just working away through here. I have the intake manifold now off of the car, and I didn't want to bore you guys with a time lapse because this thing is taking a bit more time since it was put together pretty oddly. But we'll go ahead and we'll resolve that. Getting further into this thing, we got big problems, guys, because we come over here, and I doubt it's gonna let me even focus down in here, because you know, you guys love this camera. So I'm gonna try, but it's just gonna be a black hole. If you look down in here, normally you're gonna see valves. Well, that one's gone. So it's there, the stem's there, but the end of it is gone. So that's not good. So it's either bent over to the side, and we might be able to salvage the head, or it's completely effed and it needs a new head. And these are stage 5 CNC ported IAG heads. So that's obviously not as easy as just buying another head. And this is gonna be fun. So you can tell here it's pretty much ready to get out of here now. I do need to take the downpipe off, and since this thing's been sitting for quite a while, those things are super rusty, so I'm sure I'm gonna be fighting this for a bit. So I'm not gonna put it on a time lapse. I'm just gonna get this thing out of here, and once we get it out, we'll start going through it together and getting this thing solved for what's wrong. Well, we didn't update yesterday. At the end of the day, we were just finishing up, and we had some plans we had to go to. You can see I got the motor out on the engine stand. Car is back over there. Plus I got Travis over here working away in the background, and we got Chibi. They're both working away on his car. Some sad news. This is gonna be in the same video for you guys of me saying that the 06 is for sale. The 06 just sold. Literally like minutes after we posted it up for sale, it sold.
Cash in hand before it's considered sold.
This is true, but he said send over a down payment, so I'm sure it is sold. Bam, she's so nice and clean though. Maybe one day we'll come back to that project. But today, we're gonna continue on with Marco's. Probably still can't see inside what's going on with this valve for you, but this thing is hammered. So, time to get this head off. Let's see how bad this damage is before we end out the video so you guys can actually see some progress. And your guys' favorite thing is just coming in. We got another wind advisory. So, I'm pretty sure that we live in the windiest part of the whole country right now with how many wind advisories we've been having. What do you think?
New Mexico. New Mexico.
Well, you heard it. We live in Mexico.
New Mexico.
And hard there, bud.
Well, we probably should have the camera rolling when we're taking this thing off because
Oh my God.
when you hear pieces start falling out of your motor when you take the valve cover off, we know it ain't good. So if you look down here, yeah, you see that's what's left of a retainer. And there's a bucket piece there, and well, the cam's a bit dickered. And there is no more bucket. It's weird, we keep seeing this more and more.
Yeah, I don't like it. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Well, now let's get this cam out and see how bad is bad. Oh, it just continues. Don't think you're supposed to be able to do that. Oh no. There's some issues, and these are stuck down most likely because that valve's out and not allowing these valves to come back. But if this thing will focus here, you can see there's a bunch of metal there. That's what's left of a bucket and retainer. I mean, it's been hammering this thing for a hot minute. So how quick did you shut this thing down, Marco? We'll find out as soon as we get this head off, because this ain't looking good. Well, figured we might as well set up this camera for pulling this head off. You guys may hear some wind, but we are ready to get this head off here. And well, this is gonna be some fun. Oh, there we go. Probably get stuck on this clamp over here. Come here, bud. Ouch. All right. Ho ho ho. Oh yeah, she fucked. Holy shit. Oh no, we got lots of pieces going everywhere. Here, you just stay there. Oh no, that's a valve.
Did it just fall out?
So, now we got Mr. digging through his bolts over here. Oh no. Oh no. I don't believe your valve's supposed to be upside down. Oh no. Look at this. You got, oh geez. It's so bad. Oh, so bad. Oh, there's no more spark plug. Well, that tells us this. Oh no. There's some nice Deans in that. We now know what has happened to it. And, well, the valve said, cash me outside.
How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
Sorry, Marco. Rest in peace. You did well. You took out the whole damn lawn block. That's how well.
Yeah.
At least you didn't do that.
Yeah, at least I did.
I don't know. Well, I get to deliver some bad news. You guys got to see some pretty messed up stuff. And for those of you that are kind of wrap your head around what happened, it does appear that we have lost a bucket, and when the bucket disintegrated, it obviously was still turning the camshaft. That obviously hit the retainer, and it would probably knock those little keys out of there for the retainer, and that's what dropped the valve. And obviously, who knows at what RPM this was at. It broke it off, sent it through the motor, and it's all pretty much news from there. Nothing good from that, guys. That sucks. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give him a call. That's gonna wrap up today's video. But
That's all you need.
this guy's making good progress over here.
Yeah, it's almost a long block. Almost a complete long block.
So, I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living life up in the fast lane. Life, though you limits, you just put them in Coronas, Coronas, Coronas. I've been working, I need that advance with the bonus, the bonus, the bonus. Ain't no thoughts about tomorrow, I'm just living in the moment, the moment, the moment. Full tank of gas and 200 on the dash, bitch, I'm zoning, I'm zoning, I'm zoning. Fast lane, living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane, life up in the fast lane, fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living